Hello, hello.
Hey, hey, hey.
You
It's
sound
another
like Fat
episode.
Albert.
Another episode of the Marv and Frank Show. Here we go.
We're
Start swaying.
late.
I'm starting to sway.
I took a 3-hour nap.
I ain't had no nap. And I'm buzzed on top of that.
Frank's like, are we going live tonight?
Look, I can look at my eyes.
He's like, you took a pretty long nap there. I'm like, yes, I did.
Yeah. She called me and I said, damn. I said, you're alive. And I said, I guess we're going live then, right? She said, yeah. I got to run into town and get some stuff for little Marky.
He's not so little anymore.
Well,
Kid is
no.
over 5'8".
I see Randy in the chat, Rosewood, Rebecca. Hey, Jan Brubaker, ain't seen you in a while. What's up, Trust and Justice? Rebecca Jacobs, D.
Cindy, Miss Thing, Roxanne.
We got Andrea Delphs in here.
Fancy.
Melissa.
JW28. Brett.
Miss Thang. What's going on, girlfriend?
See?
She just lives about Miss Thang, 65.
Yeah.
She lives on the west side of Indianapolis, and I'm only about 20 to 25 minutes from her.
Ah.
Yeah.
Andrea. Good evening, Melissa. D, you made it. She's like, I'm going to try hard to stay awake.
Better hit that pipe.
Raggedy Susan. Rebecca.
Roxana.
Yep. Rosewood. Naps are great. Yes, they are.
Miss Light.
It's hibernation season. You got that right. D, I'm ready for a nap now.
Man, I have 2 sheets to the wind. I can barely keep my eyes open, but I'm doing it.
Digital, good to see ya.
Look at her straight from the horse's mouth.
Look at just Pam. Pineapple.
Oh, God. Here we go. Starting that already.
Love it.
Yeah, this is our Friday night ritual, guys.
Yeah, it's just later than usual. Mike, so glad you made it. Tish is here. Look, Linda's here. 12 Cuts here. Melissa. Ms. Light. Hey, handsome people.
Hey, Lakeside Justice.
Andrea, I can't wait till next weekend to get there.
Well, if I wasn't going to the Colts game, I'd more likely be there.
Oh, you'll be fine. Go to the Colts game and have some fun. I know how much you like your sports. Every time I talk to him, he's like, I'm watching boxing, MMA fighting, baseball, football, wrestling. What else am I missing?
You about hit every one of them. Oh, I know who Miss Light is. I know who it is. It's a personal friend of mine I grew up with.
Oh, okay.
He's in the chat.
Welcome. Marvin Frank, Lakeside.
Shits and giggles. Shits and giggles. Miss Light, hold on. I got to get Miss Light in and on the joke real quick, okay, about the pineapple thing. All right, Miss Light, she owns property just outside of Delphi. And we were talking about it, and I didn't bring this up to her, but I told her, I said, what do you know about Delphi? And she said, not really much. So it's got some land right there off of Deer Creek in that area, in the Lafayette area. Well, there's the story, Miss Light. Tony Liggett is running for sheriff for Carroll County. Word got out that he has pineapple parties And I'm not sure if you understand what a pineapple party is, but if you look it up, you'll see, look up the Urban Dictionary for pineapple party, and you'll understand what pineapple party means.
Yeah, every time I hear that, I just want to sing, "We'll be swinging."
Oh, God. What about the Mets, man? Hell with them Mets. The Cubs are still, they won again tonight. They won 8 out of 11.
12 Cut says, "My Jets pulled out a miracle win. Couldn't believe it."
Well, I'm here to tell you, but I'm prepared for that Colts to get their ass kicked this weekend. They're playing Kansas City. I hate to say that about my Colts, but
Weed Pineapple Express.
There's a such strand.
Oh, come on, Polly. Get in with the pineapple thing. Have some fun.
Did you hear me? There is such thing as called pineapple strand express marijuana.
Oh.
They got all kinds of different names for them now.
Huh. My Packers did win. I was happy about that.
Honestly, they look good that night. I was surprised.
Not so good.
We look like Green Bay did their first week last week.
Wanda's Kansas City Chief fan. Okay. I have never tried Gorilla Glue.
It's a weed.
Oh. What I see on
TV. That's another strand. look at Miss Light. She knows what I'm talking about.
You people in your weed, I'm thinking Gorilla Glue commercial. Oh. No, just Pam, but I did see it and I'm going to watch it. Yes, 12 Cut. We need some receivers bad.
The Raggedy Susan. I smoke but don't do gummies because gummies just don't do anything for me.
Just don't put it in your hair.
Put it in your pipe instead.
You're not late, Molly.
Oh, no. Just getting started.
Lakeside, they said they had pineapples on sale the other day, but it wouldn't want to be seen with a pineapple in my cart.
No, what you need to worry about is make sure you don't find a pineapple hanging upside down outside your door.
Oh, yeah. That Dahmer is gross. Yes, he was.
I've watched many things on him.
Yep. Well, being from Wisconsin, yeah.
Then his dad still lives there, right?
I believe so.
But a lot of his stuff happened in Ohio, I believe it was.
Oh, no, a lot happened in Wisconsin, too.
I wasn't sure. I knew a lot of it happened in Ohio.
Oh, yeah. No, I think a good majority of it happened in Wisconsin.
Raggedy Susan. Yes, I read upside down.
Polygraph. I found some Crocs online that had pineapples all over them. Did you buy them?
Oh, my.
Concentrated. Oh, good. Good. I'll have to watch that.
What was?
The new Dahmer.
Oh, okay.
On Netflix.
Okay.
I didn't like sick as in mental or sick as in disease or something.
That's the same thing. Mental disease.
Andrea, yes, we will.
I remember when they were hauling the freezers out of his apartment there in Wisconsin.
Yeah. Mental. Okay.
Mental defect.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Rebecca, I have a little wallet with pineapples all over it. I have to be careful where I use it. Don't go to Delphi and see Tony Liggett. He might get the wrong idea. Oh my goodness. So, we thought we'd come online and chat with everybody, have a late night chat. Lots of stuff going on this week.
Oh my, yeah. Oh my. I've been up half the night the last few nights, just watching everything to see what comes up, and then when this first thing I saw this morning when I got up was the Anthony Grino situation, so I called immediately to find out what was going on. Yeah.
So as far as we know, it's not he hasn't been charged with stalking yet.
Not yet, but it's in the process.
Okay.
I got all the stuff was sent to me, so she filed a complaint, and she's got to go in front of the judge on the 28th to see if they're going to go ahead and charge him with stalking charges. I guess that's how they do it down in Florida. I really don't know. But the reason why he was arrested here is because back in 2020, he was put on probation for non-support of a dependent. And he violated it while he's sitting in the Cass County Jail, I should say. They transferred him there because of the overpopulation at the Carroll County Jail. So they left him in Cass County and served a warrant to him there, but he's under Carroll County custody while he's in Cass County. So
is there that much crime in Delphi and surrounding areas that
man
is full?
I mean, shit. Look at this, man. You have that plane crash that happened at Delphi. Then you had that whatever fucking collapsed on top of that truck.
Yeah.
And then you got the derailment of the train over the Wabash during Lafayette.
That's
what else is going to happen in those counties in that area, man?
Well, not to mention all the shootings and the police involved. Shootings and tasing and
Logansport, Molly, is Cass County.
It's almost like that area is just getting hit like crazy.
Right. Not to mention with the stuff going on with Keegan Klein and the search in the river and the Ron Logan situation, and you know.
I wouldn't hold my breath on hearing anything from law enforcement.
At this point, yeah, you got to look at it that way, though. But I will inform everybody right now, what I did is I went to ISP's website and I subscribed to their presser. Anytime that they are getting ready to schedule a presser, I get a text message from them letting them know they're getting ready to do a press conference. So when I get that notification.
Who's Pujols?
Pujols, St. Louis Cardinals. He plays for St. Louis Cardinals baseball team.
That's a big accomplishment. 700 home runs. Wow.
He's fourth all time.
Grain Bin, was that the same company or co-op that Derek Jeremy got in trouble at? I don't know.
I can't remember the name of that.
Night of the Living Zombies, aka Peru. Yeah.
Shit. What do you mean, Night of the Living Zombies, Peru? What about the Purge in Peru?
Yeah. Tight-lipped indeed. Yep.
Miss Support with Steph is in the house. 12 cut.
No, it's about time we see you.
Really? Lordy.
Where have you been, girl? I turned the heat on today.
Oh, not me. Hell no. I'm hot-blooded. I got to have 2 fans blowing on me when I'm laying in bed.
Well, I was like, why is it so cold in my office this morning? I went and looked at the thermostat. It was 65. I'm like, okay, time to turn the heat on. I couldn't take it. With having fibromyalgia, when it gets cold and damp, if that gets in my bones, then I hurt. So I turned the heat on today.
You know, what show were we watching today? I don't want to say who we were watching, but they made a comment that said that about the night that we got that email that we came on live and went off on that dude for making threats to us like he did.
Yeah.
He had an audacity to say that you were drama. Remember that?
I try not to participate in drama.
But
that night I created it.
Well, you had every right to.
I agree.
You know? Hey, I'm single. My kids are grown. You can come after me. I don't give a damn, but you don't fuck with my partner and her kids, man. I'm telling you that right now. I don't give a damn if I live in Indiana or not. Come after me. I've lived my life. I've lived in different countries. I've toured around the world. It don't make no shits to me. You know, it don't. If I died tonight in the middle of my sleep, at least I know I died living the way I wanted to live. That's just the way I look at life. So, fuck with her, you're fucking with me. As for anybody in the chat, I treat y'all like family. I do the same for all of y'all.
Yep.
So,
good question.
Yes.
We're going to watch it.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's short.
Hold on, before we go anywhere, I want to comment on this.
Wow.
Hold on.
To the murder sheet.
Hold on.
Oh, wait.
Who may be in this room.
Stop, Cop Fix. Okay.
Straight from the horse's mouth. You got to remember, back then, he didn't weigh 400 pounds. He weighs over 400 pounds now, from my understanding, from being in jail since 2020.
Is that how much he weighs?
Yeah, that's what they're saying. He's weighing over 400 pounds. Thank you, Miss Thang. Thank you for the super sticker.
Thank you. Hey, everybody, guess what?
Yeah, I was waiting on that.
All right, let me share my screen.
We got a surprise for everybody.
Share screen 2 that's blank, and we'll open up a page there. Where am I? Here I am. Guess what's here? There's a nice little join button.
We got our membership.
Memberships are here.
Yeah. I haven't even looked at it yet.
I just activated it. Vid Inquiries, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. So yes, we have memberships. We tried to make it related to us, and
you didn't give me a pipe or a bong or anything.
No, as members come along, I can put that in there. But I started out with some basic emojis. Hey, at least I learned how to make them.
Yeah, that's good though. What is that? Hold on, I'm trying to read all that.
So one is for Tabitha, one is for Abby and Libby, and then I have a researcher icon. I was only allowed 3 in the beginning.
What's these prices? Investigator, researcher, analyst. Oh, I get it. It's the levels.
There's 3 tiers.
Yeah,
the investigator tier is $2.99 a month. The researcher.
Hey, Stephanie just became a new member.
Woohoo! Our first member.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you. So you get all the reoccurring from the first one, and then researcher, you get member shoutouts, member only live streams, member only polls. And then our top one, I did $14.99 a month, and you get connecting on social media, members only live chats, and early access to new videos. So.
And I know we've got a lot of good researchers, and actually all three of them in our chat. So
I know, Steffa. It's been a long time coming.
yeah.
So yes, memberships are here. Just want to say that all of the money from the memberships.
Another one is we got another new member, Andrea Delph.
Andrea, thank you so much
for
becoming a member.
We got an analyst. It looks like, oh, that's her initial. Okay, sorry.
What was I saying? I forgot. What was I saying?
We are. So you were just talking about the membership.
Oh yeah, I tried to make. I mean, I know money can be tight with everybody, so there's 3 levels. All the money from the memberships, the super chats, super stickers, PayPal donations all go into a savings account, and that is the money that we're going to use to help families give donations, to charities and all of that. So trust and justice.
Yes, thank you.
YouTube member, thank you so much. So it's going to be a big thing. That money is going to sit in savings, and like I said, we're going to do donations to charities, but most of all, it's going to be to help with families. So a little bit of it will help me in my travels. So like on next weekend, I'm coming to Indiana, and I'll be there for 3 days. 3 days? Well, 2.5.
And Dee just joined.
Ashley, thank you for becoming a member.
And I am going up to Delphi on the 29th, guys. So
yes.
If the weather's decent, I want to try, because everybody's been talking about a trail leading from Riley Park all the way to the private drive on the south end. So I want to check it out. We got another member, Honeybee.
Thank you, Honeybee. Wow, you guys were waiting, weren't you? We love our viewers and our subscribers, and we are so appreciative of all of you. We're one big family here, and
we're one of those channels that does not deal with drama.
Tries not to.
At least, right. And we got some pretty damn moderators, good damn moderators in there, and they'll put you in your place real quick. You come in here and pulling some bullshit. I'll tell you that right now.
Y'all gonna meet YP? YP. Who's Y? Why can't I think of what YP stands for? Oh, up. So this weekend I won't be able to meet up with Frank because he's going to do his football stuff. My plans this next weekend, October 1st,
2nd. A week from tomorrow.
Huh?
A week from tomorrow.
Yeah, a week from tomorrow is I need to see if I can get a hold of Stories from the Stone, or maybe Mark will come with me. I do want to go to the bridge in Delphi. I would like to go to Peru.
Actually, the 2nd is on a Sunday.
Yes.
No, hold on.
Yes, you're
Yep,
right.
Yep, it is. Yep.
Thank you, Molly. Thank you so much. So I kind of have a big plan for that weekend.
Jetta just joined too.
Jetta.
My goodness, people. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
She's a damn good researcher. I like Jetta. So is Molly.
Okay, Rebecca, if you go to True Crime with Marv and Frank, our main page, there is a join button right here. Click on join, and then you can choose whatever tier. Oh, let me get us out of the way. You can choose what level you want, and then click join. I had to go through a browser, not the app. Okay. So does everybody see the join button? So now if I actually go come on. So now if you're on the video for tonight's video, let me make sure the volume's down. There's also a join button right there. Yeah, and iPhones can be finicky, and I don't have an iPhone, so I'm not sure how to do that. So you need so if you're on if you're on an iPhone, you need to use the desktop version. Oh, rocking the baby to sleep. I miss those days. I do and I don't.
I was getting ready to say the same
thing. I miss the snuggling part, but I don't miss the up all night.
You know, Taylor, his daughter, had a baby daughter that died a year ago this past April.
Yeah.
And me and my old roommate used to go over there and hang out. And when I would hold the baby, I even got a picture of me and the baby.
Oh.
And as soon as I realized the baby was either tooting or pooping, I'm like, oh, here you go, guys. here, mom or dad.
So if anybody can help Kay, she's on an iPad. I don't know. I don't have an iPad either. I use Android.
She has to click on our emblem. When you go to YouTube and pull up our page, click on the emblem and it'll have the join membership button on there.
Okay.
He had a cold. Okay.
Oh, and he's been using me as a Kleenex. Yeah, don't miss those days.
Oh, definitely, especially when you're burping them. And then you get the exorcist looking at you. Blah, formula coming out everywhere.
So, okay. I'm just going to say this. People keep asking me, have you listened to the Murder Sheets podcast? No, I have not. I was going to listen to it today, and I decided that I am not going to listen to it. I've gotten the gist of what they said by listening to everybody else. But I think this news that they just released, I firmly believe it could hurt the case.
after I watched Cop Facts, it really did hit me at that point that he was right. You can take a jury from anywhere in the country now because of what they've done.
Yep. And we're going to listen to Cop Facts here real quick. Because I think what he says is spot on.
I told him. I said, you're on point. And he gave me a thumbs up.
Yep. So let's listen to Cop Facts here because I think he went about the right way of stating his feelings. I also think that Steve from True Crime last night did the right thing.
Chris and Behind the Crime Door.
Yep. So I mean, don't get me wrong, you guys, I like information, but I don't want information coming out that's going to hurt the case.
To the murder sheet, who may be in this room. About the word horrible. Someone you regard with contempt, disdain, disgusting. Those are words that come to mind, definitions that come to mind. You've broken someone's trust for your own gain. You know, there's plenty of others who know way more than you do, but they're silent. That's called character. I want to thank Kristen from Behind the Crime Door, Steve from True Crime Web, two people I caught last night who condemned what you've done, and many others probably that I didn't catch. You should be ashamed. You've jeopardized this case. You've messed up the timeline for law enforcement. You've put people in danger. You've put KK in danger. You've put law enforcement in danger. You probably tainted a potential jury. Character. Yours has been damaged. And it's deserved. I hope you got all the views you wanted. You know, there's a way that you can tell when it's really cold outside. You don't need a weatherman. But you can tell it's really cold outside when you see an attorney walking down the street with their hands in their own pockets.
I have to give him applaud for that. I do. I have to applaud him for that one. Hell yeah. What's going on, What's going on, Dr. Dave?
So I am all for that. The Ron Logan search warrant, okay. It gave us information, but it didn't jeopardize the case. It just said that the FBI is, or what is and was, looking at him as the main suspect and gave the reasons why. But this what they announced yesterday, that is specific evidence. And that jeopardizes the case. Like Steve said last night, you've now warned this person.
Yep.
And now they can get rid of evidence that they've been keeping, any souvenirs, not to mention putting people's lives in jeopardy. The police, Keegan's, anybody that person may be around right now.
Or even anybody in the chat or even any creators on YouTube. If that, I mean,
we have all had information.
Yep,
that we
always.
held for this reason.
Yep. And that
why they feel they have the right or to, you know, to put this out there and then for 5 minutes say, well, Keegan's a liar, so we don't even know if it's true.
And they even admitted they can't even verify their own sources' information.
Right. And who's to say, now this is something that I want to stress.
Excuse me.
The higher ups in law enforcement have been tight-lipped. Not everyone in law enforcement agrees with that. So, what I'm saying now is there may be rogue law enforcement officers below that are passing this information off to murder sheets, thinking, we're finally going to get this solved because the people deserve to know this.
You guys can understand. Y'all have to understand.
Hang on, let me finish. And then instead, they're jeopardizing people's lives, but most importantly, the case itself when it goes to trial.
Well, like you said, you could taint a jury with all this information that they're releasing.
Yes.
And what I was getting ready to say, now you guys have to understand why me and Marv don't do a whole lot of Delphi's a lot, because we do have information that a lot of people have told us not to release. So we keep tight-lipped. We're learning this game real quick.
Right. We've made mistakes and released information we shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But we're learning.
So, but I will tell you, 3 of our sources have confirmed that Keegan did say that. And I got one more source that's looking into it, and you talked about that one, who it is.
Yeah.
So.
But this is what I mean. It's not the law enforcement that we're thinking of. It's not Doug Carter that's releasing this. It's not Tobe Lisenby that's releasing this. It's not the main investigators on this case releasing this. They know better. They know what's at stake. So is it another law enforcement official lower on the totem pole? Is it somebody in the clerk's office that gets this information that's releasing this because they think it's going to help? We don't know for sure. And everything that Murder Sheets has said right now, everything that we're going off of in the last year is all based off of what they say their sources have told them. But nobody has validated that it's right. Except for the fact that we actually got to see a search affidavit for Ron Logan and the transcripts from the Keegan Klein interview with police. That's the only reason we know that those two things are true. Everything else they say is, in my book, is just rumor. Because they can't prove it. So that's all I'm going to say for that. I know some comments are coming through. Let's go back and see what's
See, I was sitting there thinking about this. You know that it could be possibly Keegan's attorney doing it?
It could be.
I mean, think about it. He releases this stuff out there and he takes his client to trial for the C-SPAN, and he's going to have a field day with it all.
All of it points to reasonable doubt.
Yep.
I agree. I hope nobody gets hurt because of this. Yes, and now because of this, whoever BG truly is, this has all been let out. So now he knows.
Yep.
So he's going to either run, he's going to go down fighting by guns and blazing. He's going to get rid of any souvenirs, treasures, any type of evidence he's kept.
Aspen, well, never mind. We'll talk about that on another platform.
And the worst part is that law enforcement could put a stop to all of this by coming out and saying none of it's true or something.
Now, what is Marv?
Ooh, you're blurry.
Oh no, what is that?
I don't know, but I can't look at you right now because you're all blurry.
The fuck? Let me back out. I'll come back in.
Okay. Ooh, that's the type of stuff, his blurry picture. If I look at it too long, I'll get an instant migraine. So that's why I had to block him. That's better, Frank.
Oh yeah. That's why I've been so tight-lipped over here lately.
Yeah.
I got one person that I'm relaying all my information from now. And what's the word? I trust this person.
Yes, if it inquires. And there is probably a reason why law enforcement is so tight-lipped. But at the same time, they need to come out and stop this crap.
Sorry, but I gotta pull this up by Dr. Dave. Where'd he go?
What is your problem?
Well, I gotta pull this up by Dr. Dave.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, the minute they started getting notoriety from the news channels, their egos blew up.
We won't say nothing about that. There's only a couple people know what we know. Or who we know.
I mean, the stuff that we've heard and have been told is just awful.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to know where their sources came from, too.
I mean, you think about this, guys. Okay. Starting from the beginning.
I did hear the CJK. Sorry, Frank.
You got friend number one who was on probation for drugs down in Vegas. Then he gets busted with a deadly weapon of some sort. Aspen knows more about that case than I do, but I just know the aspects of it. And then they put him on house arrest. And then the next day, they're starting the search on the river. Well, then 2 weeks later, KK's second cousin, or Tony's first cousin, gets arrested in Wabash County. Then he's released on house arrest with special privileges to drive. So, makes me wonder what the cousin knows.
I completely agree with this statement. If the prosecutor goes to court to bring whoever killed Abby and Libby and the perp gets off on the technicality, I'm going to be pissed.
I was talking to Aspen today, and we basically all of us know the same information. There's just a select few people that know the same information.
Right.
We're all talking to the same people.
Let's see here.
And yeah, support with Steph. I saw your message a lot earlier. We already had our little discussion about Mr. Greeno before you came on.
Yeah, he's got great information.
Yep, I applauded him. Well, when I watched that, I was like, whoa, didn't expect that from him. I'm having a feeling the same thing, Dave.
I don't know if I could do Botox. I don't like needles.
Well, wait till you start taking insulin like I do. Then you'll get used to it.
Yeah. All right, Frank, you're going to have to entertain everybody. I need a bathroom break.
All right.
Ever since these migraines keep getting worse and worse, I've been trying to drink more water, and
you should try some of that Excedrin migraine.
I'm going to, but I'm trying to increase my water intake too to make sure that I'm not dehydrated. All right, I'll be right back. Frank's going to entertain y'all.
All right. All right, I got a question for everybody. Who thinks Ron Logan is tied into this indirectly or directly? Give me a 1 for yes or a 2 for no. Everybody's quiet about it. Anybody hear me? What is going on here? Oh, there we go. There we go. Three for maybe, Ivy. Looks like we got a mixed crowd when it comes to Ron Logan. Let me just give you my take on what I think what the situation with Ron Logan is. Okay. First of all, somebody needs to explain to everybody why his phone GPS coordinates were located around the Monon High Trails at that time at 2:09, and then his GPS coordinates around the crime scene between 8 and 10:15 that night. That's what's holding me up of not saying he's not involved. Now, indirectly, if he's indirectly involved with the murders himself, I would have to say that he stumbled upon or he was warned that something happened on his property, and he went out to his property and checked and found the girls. And he freaked out about it, and that's why he was trying to verify his alibi with his cousin the next day. Or he was a lookout of some sort at the Trailhead Freedom Bridge for his phone coordinates to be in that area at the time. I can't say he's BG because there's too much of a size difference, height difference. I can't say he's the killer. I can't say that at all. But one way or another, it's going to play out that he's either indirectly or directly involved in this case. If it's that he gave permission to whoever killed the girls to use his property for what he didn't know what was going to happen, that's a possibility. And then stumbled across the crime scene and freaked out like these son of the bitches, they killed these girls on my property. That's what they were up to. Some kind of thought process like that. And he was trying to cover his tracks for what happened, what he did the day prior. Or like I said, he was a lookout at the trails. So let me get some people's opinions in here. Does anybody want to come up on the panel and talk about it? Because I'll put the link in the chat. It's going in there now, guys. There you go. If anybody wants to come up, go ahead and hit that StreamYard button and I'll pull you in. What about you, Aspen? Braden Mohan is gone and missing again? Whoa. Vivid inquiries, there has been no verification or validation that there was ever a party on Ron Logan's property that night. There's several of us who have been trying to verify that for months, and we still can't find no verification of it. We're talking about the Ron Logan thing. I was just getting opinions and what they thought.
Here's my thing. I'm right with you, hippie. I just want justice.
Yeah. That's the bottom line.
And I'm hoping whoever it is alive.
Me too.
I want the families to have their day in court.
I do too.
But
the sad thing about it in the state of Indiana, I've seen it too many times over the last 10, 15 years. They're going to try this as a death penalty case, and what's going to happen, they're going to plead out to avoid the death penalty. It happens every time in the state.
It may not with this one.
I beg to differ. I've seen
national publicity.
You know how many cops have been murdered in the state of Indiana over the last few years, and every one of the perps that's been charged was facing the death penalty, and the prosecutor offered them a damn plea deal to avoid the death penalty.
Okay, I'm glad that we're talking about this because one of our topics tonight is going to be the Pikeville murder trial that I'm watching.
Okay.
And this conversation that we're having right now correlates with that. I do not agree with the fact that somebody who is on trial for murders can go and do a plea deal to get the death penalty taken off for their case and for anybody else who's tried in the murder case. That's total BS.
I'm going to explain something to you real quick. They make more money off of you sitting in prison for the rest of your life than sitting in prison for 10 to 15 years and then being executed. And it costs them money to execute you. So they'd rather make money than spend money to execute you.
I understand that. But not everything is about money.
There you go. There you go, Grizz. You got it.
Not everything is about money.
Well, I understand that, but you also got to understand that the prosecution has so much money to work with when it comes to a trial like that.
Yes, Steffa. I'm going to drop the link. We're going to shift gears here for a few minutes because you were going to leave, but you know a lot of information on this case. And then we'll come back to Delphi. So I did not know anything about the Pikeville, Ohio murders until 2 days ago. All of a sudden I started, I found it in my YouTube suggested, and I'm like, what's this all about? 4 family members are all being tried. Well, I shouldn't say being tried because 2 have already made plea deals and gotten sentences. But 4 family members conspired and killed 8 members of another family because the mother was assuming that the little girl of her son's daughter was being harmed or molested and didn't have proof of anything. 8 members of a family. 2 babies were, now this happened in 3 different houses. 2 of the trailers were right next to each other. The other house was down the road. 2 babies were in the room with the mother when they were killed and left there. In fact, their bodies were repositioned so that these babies can continue to nurse on their dead mothers. It's horrible. Steffa, thank you for joining us. I know you are close to this case. You have a lot more information on it. It's just mind-boggling that this even happened.
It is. Thank you, first of all, for having me up. I was going to go to rewind. I wasn't leaving your channel. I was going to rewind to hear what you talked about with Greeno in the beginning because I wanted to hear your take on it. But then you say Piketon murders, and I'm like, whoa, wait, I can't leave.
The only frustrating thing about watching this trial against George is the fact that Ohio, sorry, I'm chewing on ice. The fact that Ohio lets the person testifying choose whether they want to be on camera or not.
Girl, I didn't know that.
Not to be on camera, then they don't play any of the audio or anything. So you're sitting there and all you have is the screen of the emblem for hours. And then, so what I do is I check on it, I let the trial start, and then like 2 hours later, I go and I click on the link for it, and I fast forward through all the emblem, and then all of a sudden they'll have somebody speaking and testifying, and you can watch that part, and then it'll be off air again for a while, and that's the only frustrating part of it. I wish that they would at least have the audio of the person testifying.
Now, I can understand, like, the family members, people that are terrified, because there's more Wagners out there.
Yes.
Those are 4 of them. There's more.
Yes.
And but their freaking sheriff used that Ohio law, which, by the way, I live in Ohio. I have never seen a trial where they've done that.
Me neither.
And it's the sheriff. You are the sheriff. You should be on camera talking about, by the way, I don't know if, because you are new to the case, that is not the sheriff from when the murders happened. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
This is the kicker. The sheriff from when the murders happened is in prison. He went to prison for stealing money from the county of Pike County.
Wow.
So that, there's so many twists and turns into this case that people are like, what? And I only know that because I followed it from the morning it happened. It flashed on the news. And then you don't even find out about because when I was watching it from the beginning, they say three crime scenes. Well, the one family is like, well, has anybody heard from Kenneth?
Right.
The only reason Kenneth was killed is because sometimes Kenneth came over to take a shower at the
father's house.
Yeah, the father's house that owned the property.
Yep.
Just in case he came over to take a shower, he was killed. And so he was found out a little bit later on in the period. And I'm going, what is wrong with you people? Just because Angela, the grandmother, had some delusions that her 3-year-old granddaughter might get molested.
Right.
And then I pray to God that that 3-year-old child does not have any memory
Oh, yeah.
of his family members, his parents being brutally murdered, because he was covered in blood too.
Yeah. So I have a 2-minute clip here that I want to show everybody from Mountaintop News, just so everybody can become a little bit more familiar with this case. So let me show this real quick and then we'll come back and chat.
I'm standing in front of the scene of Pikeville Police Department's first murder investigation of 2015. Just after 2:30 this morning, calls came into the 911 center reporting a shooting. Officers and ambulances arrived on the scene and transported the victim to Pikeville Medical Center.
Oops.
The perpetrator actually was arrested 2 houses away from here last night, 36-year-old.
Hang on, I don't think that's right.
Yeah, they lived on a big property.
Has been charged with murder.
Nope, that's not the right one. Hang on. Darn it all. Here we go.
Welcome back, everybody. A major development in Ohio's largest ever murder investigation. One of the 4 people charged in the Pike County massacre admits he and his family committed the crimes. And Jeanette Levy's back with the latest in this saga. And Jeanette?
Jesse, for many years, Jake Wagner.
I lost audio. Did you guys lose audio? Oh, I think I'm on. No?
Audio's gone.
And Boston, I don't know if you can hear me, but no, the grandmother did not have any proof that child had been essayed. She was going by because the mother had been essayed and the family never did anything about it 20 years before.
Okay, let's try this again. Let me know if you can hear it.
Welcome back, everybody. A major development in Ohio's largest ever murder investigation. One of the 4 people charged in the Pike County massacre admits he and his family committed the crimes. And Jeanette Levy's back with the latest in this saga. And Jeanette?
Jesse, for many years, Jake Wagner and members of his family have vehemently denied any involvement in the Roden and Gilly murders. But now that has changed.
Yes, Your Honor. I agree to what the state has provided, and I'm deeply and very sorry.
On the 5th anniversary of the Roden and Gilly murders, Jake Wagner stood in a Pike County courtroom and admitted he and his family killed the 8 family members, including the mother of his child, Hannah Mae Roden.
What plea do you wish to enter in count 7 to the charge of aggravated murder of Hannah Mae Roden?
I am guilty, Your Honor.
Wagner appeared to tear up when Hannah Mae's name was mentioned. Prosecutors say Wagner, his mother Angela, father Billy, and older brother George wanted full custody of the little girl Hannah and Jake shared. He recently confessed to state investigators after years of denying involvement.
What he told us led us to discover some evidence that had yet to be recovered, specifically the weapons that were used in these offenses, along with vehicles that were used during these offenses, including one that was bought specifically to use the night of the homicide.
Wagner and his family were indicted in November 2018 after a 2.5-year investigation that included pleas from Geneva Roden, the matriarch of the family.
I'd just like to say from my mother's heart that I hurt so bad inside from the day that I found out
At the start of the investigation, there were few leads. Then investigators' attention turned to the Wagners a year after the murders.
This was cold blood. I mean, this was calculated, planned out.
Ohio Governor Mike DeWine was the attorney general when the murders happened. That day, he promised the Rodens the case would be solved.
Family's been through hell. While today I'm sure was a very gratifying day, it couldn't have been an easy day. They've got to be leaving here just totally exhausted and emotionally spent. But these are tough people. These are strong people.
And as part of the plea agreement, Jake Wagner has actually agreed to testify against his mother, his father, and his older brother. And the death penalty as part of the plea agreement has been taken off of the table for all of them. Jesse?
Wow. All right. Thanks, Anjanette. Let's bring back in our panel. Professor, so Wagner pleads guilty. The death penalty is taken off the table, apparently, for all of them. Is that justice?
I guess it depends on your view of whether the death penalty is an appropriate penalty at any point.
I'm going to stop it there.
I will say it may be justice.
I do have to say, in this case, and let me know if I'm wrong, Steffa, but Angela, the mother, actually received 30 years. So this actually is a death sentence for her due to her age.
Yes, she'll probably will die in prison.
Mhm.
But Ohio does have the death penalty, and we do like to use it. And this would be a case where we would like to use it.
Exactly.
8 people and how they left those babies, saying, "Here, you can breastfeed with your dead mother," in the 3-year-old, and it's just disgusting. And I hate that Jake Wagner is getting, because he's gonna do this, testify against his or against his brother and his father, that he is not going to get it because he was the one. I think he was the one that shot 6 of the people. If I'm staying corrected, so for him to, he's a coward. They're all coward. I know that the people in Ohio, citizens of Ohio, don't want to pay to have them take care of them in prison.
Right.
You know what I mean? Feed them, house them, because they don't. Why do they don't deserve it?
No, not after killing 8 people.
For what?
Yeah, and for what? Molly, just to answer your question, it wasn't simultaneously. They went to the father's house first, killed him and one other man, I believe.
His brother
right?
Gary.
Okay, his brother Gary. Then they went next door and they killed. I'm trying to think.
I think that's when Dana got killed. Dana, which is his ex-wife, which she lived on the property in another trailer, and they still got along.
The 16-year-old son?
Yeah, the son, that was George, or I always want to call him George.
But
the son, he's a junior.
Yep.
And then that was Hannah May.
Yes.
And Hannah May was the
mother.
Jake's ex-girlfriend, that this was all over this custody thing with her. And she had the 4-day-old baby.
Right. 4-day-old baby.
Then they left. Yeah, then they had left
there.
Scene.
And they went down the road, and that's where they killed Kenneth.
No, there was one more. That there was I want to say Hannah's brother.
Oh, that's right.
Because there was another baby. There was the 6-month-old baby.
Yes, that's right.
And then that was another Hannah. That was Hannah, but not the same last name as them, because he was engaged. That was Hannah May's brother, I believe, and his fiance Hannah. And they had the 6-month-old baby and put the 6-month-old baby in between the two of them,
parents.
right, and then so that baby could breastfeed as well. And then Kenneth was the last to go. So there was actually 4 crime scenes.
Okay, so when were they actually caught? It wasn't it was like a year or 2 after, right?
They were arrested a year later, but the family kept, because they all had grow operations. So at first, it's like, with like DeWine, the one that you saw, he was our attorney general. He was there that morning by like 11 o'clock, and he was giving pressers talking about it. I mean, and I just remember everybody being glued to the TV waiting for the next presser. He's really great about keeping everybody informed, because we didn't know if there was a mass killer out there. And because there was a grow up, several of them had the grow operations. It was, rumors of the Mexican cartel, and all of that. But there was a family member, and I believe it was, I want to say it was the woman that you saw talking. She lost 3 sons, I believe, grandchildren, and then a nephew. And I think it was her husband kept saying there was a custody issue. But they weren't listening because they were so still thinking it was because of the grow operation.
Right, because of the drug operation.
Yes. And they kept the 3-year-old hidden.
Go
ahead.
So this all occurred on the same night, within half an hour, 45 minutes of each other, if that.
I think the whole thing took like 3 hours for the first 3. Well, maybe not even that long. Maybe like within 2 hours, and then he was killed, like, because he was on another road down the street.
Right.
So maybe altogether 3 hours.
Yes, because they went to the father's house. They murdered 2 individuals there. Then they moved to the next house. Then they went back to the father's house. Then they went back to... So it was a lot of back and forth.
Yeah.
Traveling that they did, changing vehicles. One of the things that the mother did was she bought shoes that were the wrong size for the husband and the son to throw off police. So they changed into these shoes, and they actually took from the first house, when they killed the father, they actually took his truck to go to the other location.
They bought a truck, remember? They bought a truck.
They bought a truck and took that to one, but they also took the father's truck to one of the locations to make them think that everything was okay. And it was just the father coming to see him.
And the father was best friends. He shot and killed his best friend.
Yeah.
Hannah's dad and him were best friends, so he had to kill his best friend. And so when he kills him, he came outside of the trailer and said, oh my god, I killed my best friend.
Yeah.
I mean, for these, the whole thing is just like,
it's awful.
It is. And you know how you were talking about how they have those breaks where there's no nobody talking because the witness doesn't want to be seen or heard. I met a friend of mine has a YouTube channel, and she's brilliantly smart, and she always we go into she has her own group and chat, and so during those times we're in there, and she's coming up with ideas of what we had already listened to kind of break up that time that we're waiting.
Right.
And she had a thought. She said, I wonder, because she only bought 2 pairs of shoes. Why didn't she buy 3? Because there are 3 of them that were committing murders. And I thought she was talking about it, and she's like, I wonder if it's because George, the father, was supposed to be there at that first house.
Yeah.
Because they already had that planned meeting.
Right.
So, yeah. And somebody had asked where exactly It is. It's in Southeast Ohio, and it's totally different from the rest of Ohio. It's they're more like West Virginians because it's right at the West Virginia Kentucky border.
Okay.
It's the poorest area in Ohio. Not very, they're uneducated and they it. I have patients there that I try to get resources for in that area, and it's very difficult because they just don't have funding there. So I guess they just have grow operations. I don't know.
And one of the things that I heard is this family that did the conspiring and killing was threatening to or planning to kill the prosecutor and some police officers that were getting too close. Did I hear that right?
Now that I don't know about. Did that? But I haven't watched the trial in the past 2 days because I actually had to do real work. But
Okay.
so did that come out in trial today?
No, that came out in a documentary that I watched.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that because I know there was one on oxygen that I didn't watch.
There's all kinds of documentaries you can watch on this. And I swear that's one of the things that I heard. They said that in the one documentary, they said that the woman that had the 4-day-old baby, her boyfriend was actually supposed to be there that night. And if he had been there, they would have killed him too. And they also said that the 16-year-old, the junior, often had Christopher, yeah, often had little Chris, they call him. That's right. Often had friends come and spend the night, but he had gotten grounded that night. And so he didn't have any friends there. And thankfully he didn't because they would have killed them too.
Yes. I have never seen a case like this in my life. So, okay, I told you I have patients down there, right? So I have to do face-to-face visits. So I had to do a face-to-face visit, and after my face-to-face visit, my friend Heather, she's kind of like us. Did I lose you or are you still there?
No, I'm still here. I'm just showing
the pictures.
Some of the videos that you can watch. There's all kinds of
Okay, so my friend Heather, she's like us. She's like a true crime fanatic, but she actually worked in law enforcement, and her boyfriend is a deputy sheriff. So, she comes and meets me, and she has one of the addresses, just one, because they kind of hid that from the public, the actual addresses. So unless you were local, you didn't know. So Heather and I decided to go on an excursion and try to find where the murder sites were. So when we're going on, it's like a dirt road, and there are signs up that say, if you come on the property, you will be shot. Of the houses that we drove by. I mean, when I say it's like Appalachia, it's true Appalachian.
Yeah.
So, but we can't find where any of the places of the pictures that we saw on TV. So the trial happens, and then we find out that BCI actually took those trailers in and took them to a BCI facility and processed the scenes there. So I laughed. I sent her a message and I said, all those hours we spent looking for those trailers and they were never even there, Heather.
Yeah. And they actually took the jury, because here's a video right here where it says Pike County Massacre jury views crime scenes where 8 family members were murdered. So they actually took them on the route that the killers took to each one of the residences.
I wonder if they actually videoed. I mean, I saw the videos that they had at trial, but I wonder if there are extended videos out there that show them like go to each specific place. Like I love to see.
I don't remember. This one's 36 minutes long. So that all you got to do is Google Pikeville or Pike County Massacre.
I'm gonna be up all night. Last week I did another case. I did the West Memphis 3.
Oh, okay.
Now this weekend I'm gonna look more and more. Now my aunt lives in a county there called Adams County, and they're right in the same area. And she is a former paramedic for that area. Well, now she does part time at a funeral home, and she worked one of the funerals, and she said it was so
I
sad.
can imagine.
I was like, I thought about, asking if she'd come on the channel to talk about it, but then I'm like, is that too inappropriate? I don't know. I'm not about the body, but just the experience of what it was like.
Molly, they
being
did
there.
take them to the. They did take the jury to the crime scenes.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
And they explained, because remember, one of the houses had been. They said, well, like a new family lived there, and they said they showed them the pool, and they said the pool wasn't there. That was the family that killed them.
Right. Hannah, yes, Dana and Hannah lived.
Hannah May, the first Hannah.
Yeah, there's two Hannahs. So
There's two Hannahs, and they both had babies.
Yes. So yeah, like I said, when I'm working during the day, I have to be able to work and just be able to listen.
Right.
So a lot of what I do is I watch these trials while I'm working, because you don't really need to see anything. Just listen to it. If they do show some evidence, you take a quick glance and that's it. It's only up there for a minute maybe anyways. So this is the one this week that I've been listening to.
Were you able to, I don't know if you had started watching when they had started processing, they were outside and they were showing the 360. It would have been Chris Sr.'s trailer. And the guy, the BCI guy, gets out there and he does like the 360 camera outside, and he takes like the can and the cigarette he finds on the ground to process, and he's kind of showing the pictures and stuff. So when he gets up into the trailer, I can't imagine, and I was thinking of Steve actually from True Crime Web.
Yeah.
Because the crime scene started because they shot through the trailer door to get Chris Sr. and Gary. And then after there was bullets, they actually, Gary, I can't remember if it was Gary or Chris, had where they had shot through the trailer, that they were actual wood was stuck in their head from where the bullet went from, the gun to through the trailer, which had, wood on it, into the head.
Yeah.
And so that was stuck in his head. But after they had killed them and shot them so many times, they then moved their bodies into the bedroom.
Yes.
So I was thinking, how do you even go into a crime scene meticulously and not touch anything and not know what's important and what's not in that big of an area? You know what I mean?
Right.
From the grow operation to because there was, and then they had the pigs, and then they were doing chicken fights and all of that. It's like, how do you know I found it very fascinating, and it just gave me, Steve must be a really smart guy to know what to do.
Right.
Because it would take hours and hours and hours and hours to look at every inch of the grass and then the trailer and not touch anything. And I don't know. It was wild.
Yeah. I'm learning a lot in the past couple of days with this one.
It's crazy, I know. But I was totally into it when they were talking about the projection, the bullet projection, when they were using what are those called? This is my Topamax brain. I always want to say arrows. They're not arrows, where they can take those lines where they
The
show.
trajectory.
What is it?
Trajectory.
Trajectory, yes.
Okay.
So they were doing, watching that, and then
I'll
the
have to watch
DNA analysis, and it was like, oh my gosh, I missed my calling. I'm a nurse, but I should have gone into that because it's just fascinating.
It is. It is.
I probably bored you guys to death, but I just thought it was amazing.
Well, thank you for coming up
Thank you
here
for
and
having me
talking
up
to us.
there. You guys are so awesome. I'm so glad you got your memberships,
Oh,
and
thank you.
you deserve it. So y'all have a good night. Thank you again for having me up.
Thank you for coming.
Okay. And how do I click out? I forget. It's been so long since I've been on StreamYard. Oh my gosh. I've been out of the loop. Oh, here we go. Leave studio. Okay. Bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Bye. So, what did you think of that, Frank?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought Charles Manson was nuts.
Yeah.
Jeez. Whole family kills a whole nother family.
Right.
Wow, that's crazy.
I couldn't believe it when I started. Like I told you, I said I found this story and I'm obsessed with it. I've been watching it, and then I started watching the trial, and I'm like, "Good God! How do you walk in and just shoot 6 people and rearrange mothers and put babies next to them so they can breastfeed?" And I mean, it's crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, you're right, Adjusted Fate. They did cover their tracks very well for a year. But in the end, they were caught.
Old Hill Jacks.
Yeah.
The old Hill Jacks.
All right. Do you want to take over here so that I can go have a smoke?
No, not really, but yeah, you can.
You're such a brat. Thanks, support with Steffa. We appreciate it. You can smoke in your house. I gotta go out in the garage.
Fire them up if you got them, people.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right. All right. What's going on, people? It's been a while since I've been up this late. But last night I was up pretty late when all this information started coming out from murder shit. And I was keeping an eye on my phone because, like I said, I downloaded the ISP's presser notification, which means I'll get a text anytime they're releasing information or they have a press conference. So who's thinking KK and his dad are the killers? Anybody? Anybody? Everybody's still stuck on the case in Pikeville, huh? I see that. And I see that Carroll County got another lawsuit filed on them again, September 19th, another, what do you call it, police brutality case. And then I'm hearing from 2 different people that the Department of Justice is supposed to be visiting Carroll County within the next week or so. Boy, it sounds like a lot of things are starting to unravel there in Carroll County. Well, about a week or 2 ago, Sleuth the Intuition did some work on the BG photo again, and I happened to see it, and I was on his panel, and I said, man, I said, that picture looks exactly like one of the Kleins. And I'm almost thinking it's the dad because of the Gantt walk before he had his foot taken or half his foot cut off. The size and everything matched up, and I'm like, oh my goodness. But really, what really intrigues me is that Keegan Klein, if it is true that he confessed to everything and he was in the Jeep waiting, why would you implicate yourself in a murder? That's what I'm not understanding. Thinking that you're going to get a lighter sentence or whatever, I mean, makes no difference. You implicated yourself, man. I don't understand why you think they're going to drop any murder charges if it's what you're thinking, or I don't get it. Allegedly, this is just speculation. It's been going around for about maybe a week or so, Carroll, that the Department of Justice is supposed to be coming into Carroll County, I would assume, for corruption. I don't know the circumstances, if it's even true. So I've been told by several different people that they are coming into town. So we'll have to see what goes on and if it actually happens. Yeah, Boston Christian, but I mean, when it comes to a double homicide and you're in allegedly the getaway vehicle waiting, you're not going to tell me you didn't know what took place, what was going to take place, and then expect to not get anything done to you personally when it comes to a double homicide. I don't see a lighter sentence at all. I mean, the minimum sentence he's looking at now with the 30 charges he's got is at least 30 years. I wonder what, I mean, if it is true that the DOJ is coming into town, I wonder what finally broke the camel's back to get him in here, if that's the case. That's what I want to know. Let me see here. Yeah, people, smash that like button. So, like we said earlier, me and Marv have been sitting on information and keeping things to our vest because we want to keep things on the down low that we know. Still not understanding why Murder Sheet's releasing this information or working with somebody to release this information. I'm caught between a rock and a hard place when it comes to that. Why they would do that? I mean, it almost seemed to me like when they released the search warrant of Ron Logan, it was basically the way I seen it at the beginning was like, well, here's your killer. He's dead now. Here's proof of it. That's what it seemed to me at the beginning. Just like what they did with the I-70 killer. I'm pretty sure they had an idea who it was, but they just didn't have the proof until after he died in 2013. Yeah, Sierra, I was talking to Becky Patty about that today. Something's got to be done to stop this from going on. And people got to realize when this rumor was going around about allegedly there could be a presser today.
That was awful.
That was coming out of left field. And when I first got up this morning, I called Marv, our daily routine we do every day. And I immediately called my contact at the news station. And they said, nope, we have not got word. And you got to think, if a case of this magnitude, the first people that are going to know that there's going to be a presser besides law enforcement is going to be the media and the family.
Right.
And Becky clarified with me after I done spoke to my source at the news station that no, there is no precedent date. So but I mean, the more and more this keeps coming out, I'm not understanding what they're trying to do with this information.
I don't either.
I don't understand it. Don't understand it at all.
To me, it's not helping.
Well, I mean, you think about it. I mean, yeah, Top Facts was correct. You're taking the fucking jury right out the gate.
Not to mention, you're creating reasonable doubt for a jury.
And you're releasing evidence out there in the public before a jury's even selected, and they're going to be able to see all this before they even go into jury duty.
Right.
I mean, makes no damn sense. And I did verify that all the tips are still going to the FBI.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, they are still going to the FBI. I called the tip line just to verify it a day or two ago.
Okay, what was on the news?
I have no clue. I didn't even been looking at that because that's usually your job. Who is that? Hi, hippie. What was on the news? I sure didn't get nothing come through to my phone about anything on the news unless you're talking about that Pikes bill.
That could be. The FBI took the Young sketch off?
I think I was watching Hoosier Cold Case, and they took everything off of it, off their poster.
All right, let me see here.
Wanda from Missouri, I do believe that there's some cat fighting going on between the agencies. I just can't figure out which ones they are. I don't know if it's the FBI and the state police, or if it's the FBI Carroll County, or if it's Carroll County and the state police. We just don't know where the cat fighting is going on at. No, they didn't take it down. They just took all the descriptives off.
Well, no, on this one, it's still there.
That's the old one.
Yeah, so I gotta find the new one.
There it is. Removes FBI's height, weight from Delphi. Oh, unless you want to go down here to the Delphi homicide investigation.
There we go.
It's still up there.
Yeah.
Well, that's Indiana State Police, though.
Right.
It's not the FBI's. There it is. There it is. They took the young sketch off.
No, that's an old one because they still have all the demographics on there. All right, I'll see if I can find it later, but
let me see. Give me a second.
yeah, Adjusted Fate. I want to actually take a look at that. Let's see here. Yeah, Carol, you're right. They will have to have the trial in another country in order to get a non-tainted jury. And then, I mean, this is national, so look at all the people from Europe and Australia and all these other countries that follow this case. Good night, just Pam. Let's see here. Yes, memberships are now available. Please support the channel by clicking the join button.
I got a different one from the Department of Justice without the young sketch. Let me
While Frank's looking at that, let's talk about one of the other trials that I'm watching. So the one I've been watching the longest is the Nicholas Cruz, who is the Parkland, Florida school shooter.
check your job messenger.
I don't know if I have it up. I'll bring it up. I think that the prosecution did a great job putting on its case. The jurors actually went and toured the school. For the past couple of weeks, the defense was putting on its case. But every time the prosecutor cross-examined their witnesses, the defense's case pretty much seemed like it was falling apart. And then all of a sudden, last week, they come to court. Now, the defense was supposed to bring on 80 witnesses. They got through about half. And so last week, all of a sudden, they're submitting evidence. And the judge says, well, why are we doing this now? The jury's waiting. Who's your next witness and who's going to be questioning the witness? They wouldn't answer her. And then she got irate with them and said, let me be clear. I want to know who your next witness is and which one of the lawyers is going to be questioning them. And the lead lawyer for the defense stood up and said, the defense rests. Threw everybody off. We were expecting 40 more witnesses. And then the judge went off. They tried to have her recuse herself and everything because she chewed out the defense team big time. So that trial starts again on the 27th. So now the prosecution is going to be able to put on its rebuttal case, which they are estimating will take about a week. Then they're going to do their closing arguments, and that will go to the jury to decide whether he's going to get life or the death penalty. So that is another case that I'm watching. All right, Frank, I found it.
I don't know how current that is. That just says the Department of Justice in the left-hand corner.
I'm waiting for it to load here. Okay. Actually, let me make it a little bit bigger. No, bigger. Won't zoom.
Push the bus. There you go.
But yeah, on this one, but it still has all the demographics on it, the height, the weight.
That's the girls, I believe. Height and weight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
All I got to say about the Delphi case is at this point, we're on a wait and see. Until law enforcement comes out and says something, we don't know for sure.
But I will say we are getting pretty good information, guys. So, I mean, once again, we don't want to say anything much more than that because a lot of the information is playing out right now. So, we're keeping a lot of stuff to our vest right now until we can get the okay or see some other people that we source with and see if they're going to say anything about it. If not, we will.
Yeah.
So
Delphi is kind of on a hold now again.
Believe me, when I got my phone ready, I hear that beep coming in from my ISP. Shit. So, but otherwise, we've been on here nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, I was going to talk about the Alex Jones InfoWars trial, but I think I'm going to wait and do that one all by itself because I got to actually play clips from that one.
Right.
It's crazy, especially with Alex Jones on the stand.
But we do want to remind people that are just now coming to the chat. We have our memberships are up now.
Yep. River search, Olivia, it seems like it's done. They started actually taking stakes and everything out of the river. So I don't think any more searching is going to go on. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Melissa. I wish they would figure out the Summerwells and Dylan Round's case too. Hi, Vince. How you doing? Carol at True Crime. How is it with the death penalty? How has it worked out what order people are executed in? It's based off of when all of their appeals are exhausted. So,
and a lot of them spend about 15 to 20 years in prison before they even get executed. That's how they're making their money. Is hold them that long before they execute them to make money on them.
Yeah. Yeah, Olivia, on the posters, it was probably about 6 months ago, Frank, that they removed the height, the weight, the eye color.
No.
3 months ago.
Remember when me and Randy found that photo?
Yeah.
As soon as we discovered what we found, 2 days later, they removed everything off the FBI poster.
Ah, okay.
Exactly 2 days later. I would say that was probably in April, maybe. April, May.
Um,
Hey, John, I was raised in an evangelical Christian church.
how should we answer support with Steffa here? Does the information that you have, does it line up with the intel from MS?
Yes.
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that we don't say though because
we don't want to get burnt.
Well, Steve has been a good mentor, and like I said, we've made some mistakes and said things that we shouldn't have about evidence, and we're learning. And so a lot of this we keep to ourselves because it has to deal with evidence.
Yep.
And we don't want to put it out there. It's not right to put it out there and mess up the case.
Right.
And possibly jeopardize the case when it goes to trial. So yes, a lot of things that you're hearing from other YouTube creators, we heard a long time ago. We just haven't said anything.
See what's happening in the murder sheet right now, guys? All the backlash they're getting from what they're doing. We don't want that here. That's why we decided that we're just going to keep tight-lipped and everything to the vest from now on. Because I sure the hells don't want a message or somebody from law enforcement saying, hey, shut your mouth. We don't need that.
Oh, goodness. I haven't heard about this one. If you can, Adjusted Fate, send us the details. Email it to us. I'd be curious to look into that one.
Hey, we talked to Matt about that one. He lives in North Carolina. Him and Kate do. Hey, Freckle Joy. Nice to see you.
Carol, the way the death penalty works is that, so you go through your initial trial. You get the death penalty. Then you're put on death row. You have so many appeals that are automatically done for you. So the person can sit on death row for years
before their case even gets looked at
by the higher courts.
Yep.
And until they have exhausted all appeals, or once they've exhausted all appeals, then it's scheduled for death to take place. But that may even take a couple of years to happen after that.
Right.
So they could be on death row for 20, 25 years.
Look at Scott Peterson. He's no longer on death row.
Right.
His appeals work for him.
Hi, Freckle Joy. How are you? You're working, huh? Well, thank you for listening to us while you work. At Marv, from what I heard, there's more murders in the area of North Carolina committed by young people. I wonder if they found the 17-year-old today. We'll have to look into that.
Yeah, I remember the Night Stalker case.
Oh, yeah. I'd have to Google that and see.
Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker.
No, as far as how long is the longest time after all appeals have been exhausted has someone been on death row?
Matter of fact, I'll look it up right now. Give me a second.
You're welcome, Steffa. I love how our community can chat in the chat room and listen to us talk and just educate everybody about different things happening. I really appreciate that. The Night Stalker was given the death penalty. He died of a heart attack 30 years later. Yeah.
All right, got that information.
Okay.
Gary Alvord, a Florida prisoner who at the time of his death had spent more years on death row than any other condemned prisoner in the country, died on May 19, 2013 of natural causes. Alvord was 66 years old and had been sentenced to death for murder almost 40 years before in April of 1974.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, at least he wasn't executed. He died.
Yeah.
He died on his own time.
Well, and a lot of them do. A lot of them do die.
Yeah.
You know, of natural causes before they even get. You think of it. Okay, so the middle-aged, older people that do get the death sentence usually do die on their own. The younger ones actually end up getting put to death later on when they're older, much older.
All right, Freckle Joy. Yes, they were all given the death penalty, but they overturned the death penalty in the late 70s, I believe it was. So California no longer had the death penalty at the time, so that's why they ended up getting life sentences.
Oh my goodness, Melissa. That's awful. Yikes. Good morning, Heather Marie. Yeah, 40 years. 40 years is a long time to be on death row.
Yep. There you go, Freckle Joy. Yep. Supreme Court overturned the death penalty at that time. Yep. I followed that a little bit. I've watched Helter Skelter so many times. I've watched so many documentaries on the Mansons. He ended up dying of either a heart attack or natural causes in prison.
Yeah.
And what about that execution that just happened that was supposed to take place yesterday?
They stopped it.
Yeah, they couldn't find the vein. So they had to stop the execution.
Is that what was wrong? Is that what happened?
Yeah, they couldn't find the vein on the dude. Oh yeah, Danger Dave. I remember watching a documentary or an interview with him and Rivaldo. Is that his name?
Geraldo Rivera?
Yeah, Geraldo Rivera. And Manson flat out told him, he said, dude, I could have your head sent to me in prison in a box if I wanted to. Right on national TV. Yeah. There is not going to be a presser right now, Heather Marie.
That was all rumor.
It's all rumor. I would say the earliest would probably be Monday, but I wouldn't keep my hopes up on that.
Hey, JW28, how you doing? Adjusted Fate says, I wrote my senior research paper on Manson. Yep. Yes. It sounds like some places, yes. Others, you get this false sense of what something is like by a movie. So the Green Mile, didn't look like it was no picnic. But I'm pretty sure jails aren't like that today. So, do you remember when the Klan beat up Geraldo on that? I don't remember that. Heather, we were talking about that earlier. Yes, somebody said it was really good, and I want to check it out.
The Waco thing was off the hook.
That was awful.
My God.
Oh. Wow. Carol says, last person executed, hanged in Australia was in 1967. Yikes.
Some states here in the United States still, you can request what death penalty you want.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
I think well, I think I'd either have to choose lethal injection or just being shot because it's quick.
Yeah, I'd rather have the firing squad any day.
I would want something quick and Heather Marie says that I'd want injection.
There's pain involved with that. You feel pain in lethal injection.
But not for very long.
Well, no, but it's just a matter of the fact that you know that you can't breathe and you can feel all that.
Yeah. All right, everybody.
It's 2 hours. Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up.
Utah used to have the firing squad, Molly, back in the day. And I believe Utah still has hangings. One of those, yeah, some states, but there's a state or two that still have hangings if requested.
Do they actually still hang people?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They still believe in some of the old Wild West shit.
I'm not sure who Sammy Terry is.
Okay. I'll tell you who Sammy Terry is. That back when I was a kid growing up, there was a guy by the name of Sammy Terry who lived right down the street from me. He was from Lawrence, Indiana. He had his own show, and it was ghost and goblins type movies, like Halloween movies, scary movies. And he dressed up like this phantom-looking guy, makeup on his face, a cape, and all this crap. And his name was Sammy Terry. Well, he ended up passing away many years ago, and his son took over the role. So his son's still playing Sammy Terry.
Oh, okay. Good night support with Steffa.
Yeah, I'm getting there too. My eyes are getting heavy.
I know, I can tell. All right, everybody, we gotta let Frank go to bed. I guess I'm gonna do some cleaning and play some Minecraft.
Well, I'll be laying in bed with the phone right next to my ear, and I hear that chirp, I'm looking. So.
Okay, sounds good, Adjusted Fate.
Don't forget, everybody, we got the new membership.
Yes. So first of all, thank you to all of our subscribers. everyone who
Yeah.
watches. Please click the thumbs up button, share, and as we said earlier, we now have memberships. Go check it out. All the money goes into a savings account, and Frank and I will decide what charities to donate to, and it's also going to go to help families that, in the cases that we look into and everything like that.
And also, we use a little bit of the money at times if we need to travel to Delphi or tipping like that. It's travel money and stuff like that also. So gas ain't cheap anymore, and especially she lives 6 to 7 hours away, and I live an hour and a half away. So
right. Well, once you get a hotel room for a couple nights, gas,
eating,
food while you're there, it
right.
all adds up.
Because when we went to the walk this year, we all went to Golden Corral. I couldn't believe it was $28 a person. I was like, holy,
I know.
Like, Jesus. They better have filet mignon, the whole works. That shit better melt my goddamn mouth. That's all I had to do. Oh, God, here goes Jetta with the pineapple.
Yes. I think the pineapple jokes are here to stay.
Yeah. Should have never started that shit.
So once I figure out merchandise, I think we're going to have to make an upside down pineapple with the circle and the line through it thing. Ain't happening here.
No. No. No.
Oh, come on.
Hold on here. You're talking about fudge packers now. I'm not down with that.
I am not talking about fudge packers.
Yeah.
Yes, and I am going to make a pineapple emoji, I promise. Molly says yes. Pineapple merch. I'm serious. We should have an upside down pineapple with the circle and the line through it, and it says "Ain't happening here."
And send an invite or send a brochure to Tony Liggett on his email.
Yeah, we'll send a complimentary shirt to him.
Pineapple emoji for membership.
Oh.
All right,
yes,
guys.
I will make a pineapple emoji as soon as I'm allowed to make more.
My husband won't let me.
Andrea says, I can make those shirts.
Well, hell, awesome. Andrea, you're close to Delphi. Won't you just go drop one off to Mr. Liggett? You're not that far. Or have it Federal Express the box to the Carroll County Sheriff. Attention, Tony Liggett.
Oh my God. That's funny.
No, I do not. I do not eat pineapple on my pizza.
No. I love pineapple, but not on pizza.
It's not good for me because that's one of the most sugariest.
She says send it unanimously. Yeah.
You can do that. And you know damn well they're all watching this right now. I guarantee Vito's sitting there back watching this, laughing his ass off right now. Like, these guys are nuts. And you guys don't need to know who Vito is. Some of you know who he is and some don't.
No. Oh, yeah. I bet you the pineapple thing really took off that night.
Yes, it did.
But we were, that was one night, one heck of a night. If you didn't see that live stream, go back and watch it.
Look at Andrea. Send in 1 week. Oh my goodness. All right, it's time.
All right, everybody. As I was saying before, we love all of you. We appreciate all of you. We're one big family. Thank you to our wonderful moderators. I think Dee fell asleep.
Yeah.
But that's all right. We love her. She needs to rest. Thank you to all of our moderators. You're wonderful. We appreciate you. And
everybody's starting to pick up on our motto.
Yeah.
Look at right here.
Yep. They know what we're gonna say.
Yep.
See you next week, Andrea.
I'm sure we'll be back on sometime this weekend. Sometime.
Yeah. Probably. I still want to I want to talk about the Alex Jones trial. So
and we are going to be getting with Tabitha Shuck Reigns' parents within the next week or so, because we need to go over some information with them to clarify what we can and cannot release. So we're still working on that case. That's one of our top cases also. So,
and that's why I'm coming to Indiana.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a lot of interviews while I'm there, take a lot of video while I'm there. And
you know what? I should go live when I get home.
What?
When I get home, I should go live when I get home from the football game, and you go live while you're there, and I'll broadcast it.
Oh, there you go. Well, what time is the football game going to be over?
It's at 1 o'clock, and we should be home by 5:30.
That would actually work perfect. I could join the stream from my phone.
Yeah.
From the memorial.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like a plan. So we'll have to create a thumbnail for that, and we'll do that. That'll give us something on the docket for a week from this Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
all right,
guys.
It's that time. Take us out, Frank.
Peace out.
One love.
One love, guys. Love y'all. Good night.
Love ya. Bye.
Good night, guys.